guys? Welcome to the lounge. Bobby D here. I'm going over some of the confirmation hearings and trying to unpack some of this stuff. And right here we've got Senator Pocahonky, Elizabeth Warren. She's grilling Pete Hegseth, and Pete evidently wrote that retired generals should not work for defense contractors for at least 10 years after they retire. I have no problem with that. In fact, I actually endorse that. But what I would like to know is, why do senators and congressmen get to invest in Raytheon, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, all the defense stocks when they know they're about to vote for a war? So let's unpack this right here and check this out.
In combat. Now, Mr. Hegseth, you have written that after they retire, generals should be banned from working for the defense industry for 10 years. You and I agree on the corrosive effects of the revolving door between the Pentagon and defense contractors. It's something I would have liked to talk to you about if you'd come and been willing to visit with me. But the question I have for you on this is, will you put your money where your mouth is and agree that when you leave this job, you will not work for the defense industry for 10 years?
Senator, it's not even a question I've thought about, because it's not one.
Think about it right now.
It's not one. My motivation for this job
I understand
has never
that. I
been
just
about
need
what
a
could
yes or no
conceivably
here.
come next.
Time is short. I just need a yes or no.
I would consult with the president about what the policy should be
In
at the Defense
other
Department.
words, you're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
You'll be the one, let us just be clear, in charge of the generals. So you're saying sauce for the goose, but certainly not sauce for the gander?
I would want to see what the policy of the
Oh,
president
I'll
is.
bet you would.
Thank you, Senator Warren.
Yeah, why don't we see the defense bills? Why don't we look at the amount of senators and congressmen that are heavily invested into the stocks here, and then of course we've got the Pam Bondi hearings that were quite interesting. This frickin' idiot thinks he can, Senator Padilla, he thinks he can give Pam Bondi homework. I love her answers to him. She basically tells him, go to hell.
I guess you
Now,
didn't want to
hoping
hear
you're
my
more familiar
answer
with it
about
today
Pennsylvania.
after I gave an opportunity to study overnight. So can you tell me and this committee what the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment says?
Senator, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm not here to do your homework and study for you. If I am confirmed
No,
as
you're
Attorney
the one
General...
asking for a confirmation
Hey,
vote,
you
ma'am.
cut me off. Can I please finish?
What does the 14th Amendment say?
Senator, the 14th Amendment, we all know, addresses birthright citizenship. I've been a state prosecutor. I've been a state AG. I look forward to, even given your remarks today, working with you and the people of California if I am confirmed as the 87th Attorney General of the United States of America. I didn't take your homework assignment. I'm sorry. I was preparing for today.
Will it be your advice to the president? No, Mr. President, I need to go over them on a case-by-case basis. Do not issue blanket pardons. Will that be your advice to the president?
Senator, I have not looked at
I wonder if anybody questioned Joe Biden's pardon about Hunter. Everybody seems to be worried about Trump's going to pardon this person, or Trump's going to pardon that person. Low-level drug offenders, I have, nonviolence. I really don't care. Free up the prison so we can lock up some of the hardened criminals. But if I were to lie on a federal gun application, they would have locked me under the jail. Hunter walks, and he's, the drugs alone, along with the gun. For anybody else, that's an immediate sentence, and you're going to do big time, federal time.
any of those files. If confirmed, I will look at the files
And
for
will
the
you be able to
pardons, as
do,
well
will
as
you
the
be able to
ongoing
review
investigation.
hundreds of cases on day one?
I will look at every file I am
Of
asked
course you
to
won't.
look
So
at.
will you advise the
Hey,
president?
can I
will
answer
you-
the question?
Well, my question
I would
is-
have plenty of staff. You said, of course you want.
You'll be able to review
Listen, I'm
hundreds
not
of
going to
cases on the first day?
mislead this body nor you
All right, let me ask another question. You don't want to answer that, let me ask
You
another
were
question.
censured by
It will
Congress,
also-
Senator, for
it will
comments just
also-
like this that
it
are
will
so reckless.
also-
I love how she, she basically just tells him, stick it up your ass. I mean, she's very good. Now, we're going to go over a little bit more of hers.
Held the president could commit crimes using the Department of Justice and be immune from prosecution.
Now, one of the things that stood out to me is they're worried about a loaded DOJ. By loaded, I mean it's weaponized. It's it's going to target and things like that. Let's just go over. They're concerned that Pam Bondi being in that position, she's going to weaponize the DOJ. Well, let's go over this. Let's see if Nancy and Chuck weaponized the DOJ.
But he's taking these shots, this antagonism, this
Yep.
taunting to the
Let me
intelligence
tell
community.
you take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated
I don't know,
to?
but from what I am...
She smirks at that. Frankenstein. She smirks right there.
The intelligence community would do if they were
really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated
I don't know,
to?
but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them. And we need the intelligence community.
Holy shit! You hurt the intelligence community's feelings. That's the worst thing ever. But we can see what happened. They went after Trump for 9 years. And I can effectively say 9 years now. It has been nothing but impeachments, lawsuits. They tried to embarrass him, bankrupt him, throw him in prison. They've done everything that they possibly could, not to get at Trump so much, but to get at us, because Trump he was representing us. So we were the enemy. Trump wasn't so much the enemy. It's just that he was representing us, and they weren't going to have that. Somebody came in from the outside and knocked them off their bar stool, and I could say that probably figuratively for some of the members that stay drunk in Congress, but Trump stood up for us, and that's why we stood up for him. I celebrated Trump before he came down the elevator or the escalator. I was praying that he would make that announcement. He did, and I told everybody, I said, he is the man that we need, but look for a global shift. And I think that Trump has shaped the globe. It's unbelievable. I'm proud that we've got Trump back. Listening to these idiots that are trying to stop the confirmations. It's not so much that they're. I think what they are now is they're in fear, because this is probably the most powerful administration I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. You're talking Kristi Noem, you're talking Tom Homan, you're talking Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. I mean, all powerhouses in their line of work. Pete Hegseth. I mean, they're all the best at what they do, and I think this has the whole Senate and the whole House afraid, because everybody better get on board or they better get out of the way, because this train's going to run your ass over, period. I couldn't be more proud of the United States than I am now. And the reason why they're worried about a weaponized DOJ is because they know they screwed up majorly. They broke laws to go after Trump. And I certainly hope that the people who broke those laws, I hope they pay the price. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Justice Sotomayor correctly said this new immunity lies about like a loaded weapon. So the fear and the concern we have is that the incoming president will use that loaded weapon, that immunity, to commit crimes through the Department of Justice. And for that reason, it is all the more important that we have an attorney general who has the independence, the strength, the intestinal fortitude to say no to the president when it is necessary. So my first set of questions has to do whether you have the independence to say no when you must say no. And you can say this is hypothetical.
How independent was Merrick Garland? They pissed and moaned because he was blocked from going into the Supreme Court. That was you can thank Harry Reid for that. Harry Reid set the rules for it. We just played by the Democrats' rules. No appointments during an election year. Harry Reid set the rule. We just followed by it. So Merrick Garland. But could you imagine Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court? It's bad enough that we've got one up there right now that can't identify what a woman is. Unfrickin' believable. But we've got a senator up there as well that thinks Guam will tip over if there's too many people on one side of the island. So there's always that. Love the brainiacs.
Hypothetical, but it is not hypothetical. So let me start with one very specific non-hypothetical. The president has said Jack Smith should go to jail.
Yes, he should.
Will you investigate Jack Smith?
Senator, I haven't seen the file. I haven't seen the investigation. I haven't looked at anything. It would be irresponsible of me to make a commitment regarding anything without, you're a long practicing attorney, without looking at a file.
So you would need a
Period.
factual predicate to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
Not a summary by you sitting here. Yes, sir.
And not a summary by the president either, right?
Absolutely.
So a summary by the president or his desire to investigate Jack Smith would not be enough for you to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
I will look at the facts and evidence in any case.
And sitting here,
72%,
sitting here today.
Senator, 72% of
Please,
Americans
I only have 7
lost
minutes.
faith in the Department of Justice.
Sitting here today,
Statements
are you aware of any factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Sitting here today, yes or no?
Senator, I will look at the facts and the circumstances.
You can't answer that
anything that's
question?
brought to me.
You're not a part of the department yet. There's no worry about divulging
Sir, I'm sitting
law
here as a
enforcement
nominee.
sensitive information. So just tell us,
I'm
are you
sitting here as
aware,
a nominee.
just tell us, are you aware of a factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Yes or no?
Senator, what I'm hearing on the news is
Are you aware of
horrible.
a...
Do I know if he committed a crime? I have not
You
looked
seem reluctant to answer a simple question. Let me ask you a different simple question. The president also wants to jail Liz Cheney. Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney?
Liz Cheney tampered with evidence on the January 6th committee. That is a federal offense, so absolutely. But notice Pam Bondi will not say, no, I will not investigate her. And good for her.
Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that
No,
question.
it's not hypothetical. I'm asking you, sitting here today, whether you are aware of a factual predicate to investigate Liz Cheney.
Senator, no one
Based
has
on what
asked
you
me
know.
to investigate Liz Cheney. That is a
The
hypothetical.
president has called for it publicly. You are aware of that,
What
aren't
are
you?
they worried about?
No one has asked me to investigate
But the president
Liz.
has
We're
called-
also
the
worried about
president-
Liz Cheney,
the
Senator.
president has
You know
called
what we
for
should
this-
be worried about?
Ms. Bondi,
The
please
crime rate
answer
in
my
Cal-
question.
Oh, bear with me.
California right now
You
is
are
through
aware,
the roof.
Ms. Bondi.
Your robberies
Ms.
are
Bondi,
87%
my
higher
question-
than the national
My question
average.
is this.
That's what I
My
want to be
question is this.
focused on, Senator.
Do you have the
if I'm
power to
confirmed
say
as
no to the
Attorney
president?
General.
And what you're suggesting today by your non-answer is you don't have the independence to say no to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It also requires you, if you're going to be a good attorney general, to be able to tell hard truths to the president. So my questions now are, can you tell hard truths to the president? So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell us, can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that? Do you have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election? Can you tell
Donald
us
Trump
that here today?
won the 2020
Senator,
election.
what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I
No,
won't
I'm just
do it.
asking you a simple
I
question.
won't play
If you can
politics
speak truth
with any
to
ongoing
power. So let me ask you
investigation,
another.
like you did
let me-
leaking your
let me ask
colleague
you,
Devin Nunes's
if-
memo.
If you can't answer the question, let me.
I like how she called out him leaking Devin Nunes's memo, but he says he wants her to speak truth to power. Has this guy ever spoken a truth in his life? This little pencil neck, I mean, she's as she's as sharp as a number 2 pencil right out of a brand new sharpener, and this guy, he's an eraser head. Two different two different ends of the pencil. This guy's dumber than a box of rocks, and he thinks he can go up against somebody like Pam Bondi. Jesus Christ, what a moron.
Let me ask you what should be a simple truth, not a hard one. Was there massive fraud affecting the result of the 2020 election, yes or no?
Yes.
Senator, I'm glad you asked that question. If you'll let me answer what I saw in Pennsylvania.
No, I asked a simple question about massive fraud.
I can only tell you what I saw in
No, I
Pennsylvania.
know you want to answer a different question, but my question is, can you tell us whether there was massive fraud affecting the results of the 2020 election, yes or no? Was there
I
or
can
was there
tell
not?
you what I saw
Absolutely.
when I went
That's
as an
not my,
advocate
that's
to
not
the
my
campaign.
question. So you can't answer that question. You can't speak that even easy truth to us, let alone to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It will also be important that you give good advice to the president. Are you prepared to advise the president not to pardon people who beat police officers?
Senator, as I said, the pardons are
How about a pardon for Hunter Biden? I mean, I could be wrong, but I think lying on a federal gun application, being under the influence of drugs and all that stuff like that, I'm pretty sure that would put me under the jail cell. Anybody out there that did such a thing, that would have us all convicted and locked up. But that's just me.
are at the direction of the president. We will look and we will advise. I will look at every case on a
Okay,
case.
so you're
Let me
looking-
finish on a case-by-case
Okay,
basis.
okay, good.
And I abhor violence to police officers.
Follow up with that. So will it be your advice to the president, Mr. President, I know you said you want to issue hundreds of pardons on day one. Will it be your advice to the president? No, Mr. President, I need to go over them on a case-by-case basis. Do not issue blanket pardons. Will that be your advice to the president?
Senator, I have not looked at any of those files. If confirmed, I will look at the files
And
for
will
the
you be able to
pardons, as
do,
well
will
as
you
the
be able to
ongoing
review
investigation.
hundreds of cases on day one?
I will look at every file I am
Of
asked
course you
to
won't.
look
So
at.
will you advise the
Nick,
president?
can I
will
answer
you-
the question?
Well, my question
I would
is-
have plenty of staff. You said, of course you want.
You'll be able to review
Listen, I'm
hundreds
not
of
going to
cases on the first day?
mislead this body nor you.
All right, let me ask another question. You don't want to answer that, let me ask
You were
another question.
censured.
Forgive me 1 second. Lucy, come here. Come here, baby. Lucy. Come here, baby. Guys, forgive me. Every now and then I do have interruptions. I've got 2 little pups here. This one, he's my big boy. This is... come here, buddy. Oh, my goodness. Come here, buddy. Come here. This is Louie. Let me introduce you, Louie. Louie is he's my 80-pound hunk of love. Say hi, Lewis. Yeah. Sorry about that. He is my 80-pound hunk of love. Love this guy. He's got a twin sister that she's growling over there because she's got a plastic steak and she's afraid Louie's going to take it. So, Louie, don't take her plastic steak, please. Thank you, buddy. Love you. All right. Anyway, back to the video. Yes, Louie.
Censured by Congress, Senator, for comments just like this that are so reckless.
It will also be important for you to be able to preserve the records, the evidence of the department. Are you ready to commit that none of the evidence in the January 6th investigation will be destroyed under your watch?
Senator, I will follow the law. I will consult with ethical officials in the
Do you
department.
see any ethical basis to destroy evidence in the January 6th investigation? Then why can't you answer the question? Why can't you say, I commit to this committee, we will never destroy the evidence in the January 6th investigation? Why can't you give this committee and the American people that assurance?
Are you frightened because evidence was destroyed against President Trump that was false? Is that why you're
Why do
frightened
you
now?
have
I can't
difficulty?
believe this is even.
Why do you have difficulty answering that question?
I can't believe
Why do you
you're
have
asking such a
difficulty?
question.
Why do you have difficulty promising to preserve evidence at the Department of Justice? Why is that a difficult question?
I will follow the law.
You know, it's quite comical listening to somebody who lied to the American people, broke the law in every angle that they possibly could, and yet, you know, he's going to sit there and he's going to confront somebody with a resume like Pam Bondi. But guys, here's one of the things that, you know, that we should all understand is Trump didn't Trump isn't the threat. We're the threat. But what they're scared of is Trump's new cabinet. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth. I mean, you've got an all-star cabinet. You've got Doge with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. That they're going to cut out a lot of this wasteful spending and stuff, and expose the books. Trump just stood up for us, and we stood up for him. But here's something that I wanted to point out. This is a brand new channel. I'm excited to be on it, so it's a little bit long-winded this time, and I apologize for that. I will knock this off. But it's exciting times. We've got Donald Trump back in office. We've got Melania right where she belongs. And one of the things that I'm excited about is the Be Best campaign. Melania is bringing it back. I know it's going to be better than ever. We need to support our children. We need to support families staying together. We need to, support Melania and her push for the Be Best campaign. Eliminate the bullying and things like that. It's just such an exciting time. We're just, a couple days away from having our power couple back in the White House. And this is what we fought for, guys. This is what we waited for. And it's exciting times. It is very exciting times. So, guys, Bobby D here. Thank you for joining me at the lounge. I'm glad that you guys came. If you guys want me to talk about something, drop a line in the comments. Please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. I would much appreciate it. And I look forward to spending some time with you guys again. Bring a cocktail, bring a cigar, bring a friend. Love you guys.
Thank you.